Hello everyone and welcome to the Seed of Andromeda update video 4. I've got some really great stuff to show you guys today, but first things first, I want to say thank you to all my subscribers. Your support has just been awesome and all the ideas you've been giving me have been really great. Keep it up. I love to hear the comments and I read every one. Alright, so anyways, the first feature I want to show you is the canyon biome, which we are currently in. This biome is very big and also quite rare, but basically what it is it's kind of modeled after the Grand Canyon. You get kind of a step effect coming down, then it goes into usually water, depending on what the natural elevation of the terrain is. Because the canyons do overlap with other features, so you can actually have canyons in the mountains, you can have canyons at the bottom of an ocean, you can have them anywhere. And this took the better part of a day to do, but I think the end result is pretty good. The next thing I want to show you is the new water particle effects. I'll come over here to this trench. I think this would be a good place to show it to you. Let me grab some water. Alright, so basically what I did with water is made it to where whenever water flows a certain amount to a nearby square, I think it's about 10 at least, it will release particles, as you can see. And these particles, right now they don't look very good because I've made them myself. But they're basically like little splash effects, and it just looks a lot better. It's so fun to play with too. But the particles themselves are optimized. They are batched and they are basically instanced, so it ends up being pretty dang fast. Not really a big deal. And I actually use these particles for avalanches. Spoiler, they're pretty cool. Oh, bugs. Look at these bugs. Alright, so let's move on to avalanches. Oh, first, I did actually get a new texture from Scuttles for the water. Take a look at it. I think it looks a lot better. A lot better than what we had before, that's for sure. And we can probably do even more tweaking to make it look better. We may actually also have a texture. Like right now this is just a normal map, so in the dark you don't really see this, but we may also overlay a texture with it to make it look even better. And we may even have special textures for water blocks that are falling to give even more of like a foamy, flowy effect, if you know what I mean. Oh, and yeah, I also upgraded the water system a little bit to make it slightly more realistic, and I also made it more optimized and faster. So as you can see here, it's running really smoothly, and it's not dropping my FPS at all. We can really handle just an enormous amount of water with very little FPS drop. The particles probably cause more of an FPS drop than the actual physics do. So yes, that is the power of the cellular automata of physics. Let's move on to avalanches. This is my favorite part of the new update. The idea came from you guys. I've had this suggested multiple times. Everybody seemed to want avalanches, so I added them. Originally, when I made avalanches, I made them just use sand physics. But that ended up being really laggy because the blocks would just update way too much. Oh, and I'm actually going to hold off on avalanches for a second because I want to show you something else. Got to save the best for last, so you guys pay attention. Let me find some snow. We actually have snow now. Let's see, got to go a little higher. I don't think I'm actually in a snow biome. Ah, there's a slight discoloration. You can see it. Okay, this should be snowy. Alright, there, we now have snow, and the way snow works is it's calculated based on rainfall and temperature for the region, and it actually has a depth. So this looks like the least depth that you can have, but as we go higher, as it gets colder and wetter, you can see these trees are getting actually buried under the snow because the snow is very deep. And the maximum depth of the snow is actually pretty high. I think it can go up to maybe 20 or 30 blocks if it's cold and wet enough, but it all depends on the functions. Also, let me go ahead and show you up here without starting an avalanche, hopefully. I changed sand physics. They are now faster, or sorry, they are actually slower moving sideways. Let's see if you can see it. Yeah, it's definitely slower. It's about half as slow, I think. I just changed the update speed. I think it looks better. But you don't have to worry because I know a lot of you didn't want it to be falling slower or anything like that. They still fall with gravity. They fall at terminal velocity, basically. So everything else is fine. It just changed the way they move sideways. Okay, so now for what you've all been waiting for, avalanches. The only thing about avalanches is they can cause quite a bit of lag if you start them really high up, because it will just basically propagate and spread and just make a really big mess. Let me fly over here. I think there's some better snow over here for us. I'll try to start some small avalanches at first, and then I'll move up to some bigger ones so you guys can see how awesome it is. I'm really proud of it. It's pretty fun. Okay, here we go. Let's start an avalanche over here. This looks good. Alright, so Avalanche Physics is basically sand physics with some additions, which you will see. I think I want to do it right here. Alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1. As you can see, it falls and grows as you would expect an avalanche to. It has particle effects to make it look awesome. It doesn't push you yet. That will come in the future. It doesn't crush you. It doesn't do any damage to you or anything like that. But these avalanches can go basically forever, and they can grow to be, you know, really, really big. It just depends on the slope. If you go to a really steep slope, it can be a big mess. Originally, like I said, I had sand physics basically going with these, and it was just really bad. As soon as you started the avalanche up there, it would just spread everywhere, and the whole mountain would start updating. You would get tens of thousands of block updates per frame. You'd have to rebuild all the meshes over and over again, and it was just really, really terrible. But the system can actually handle quite a bit of the physics at one time. It's like water. It's the cellular automata physics are really optimized, and the game can handle just a bunch of it. I don't know what these particles are doing. I'll have to definitely make a note to fix that. But yeah, so tell me what you guys think about this if you have any ideas. I know I said in 2 videos ago that for sand physics I would make a little animation of it rolling. I'm holding off on that for now because I'm probably going to also want to do it for snow. And I think instead of just doing the animation right now, I'm going to wait until I have maybe an instancing system for the physics blocks. Because right now any blocks that are gravity enabled, any physics blocks, each get their own draw call and have their own geometry, and it's just once you get, you know, thousands of those on the screen at one time, you just really lose FPS. All right, let's start some more big ol' avalanches. Let's use some C4 this time. There we go. That's a good one. I'll probably do a video where I just play with avalanche physics or sand physics or water physics. If you've seen the other water physics videos, you'll know generally what the style will be. I think I'm going to play some music over it this time. All right, so thanks for tuning in. Let's go try to crash the game to end the video. Sort of just test the limits. Here's a really steep cliff face. All right, so this is probably going to bring my FPS down to just a crawl. Yeah, let's just stuff some TNT in this hole here. That'll do. I already started an avalanche. Oh yeah. That is looking nice. All right, so, you know, post your suggestions as usual. I'm going to take a quick look in the changelog, see if I missed anything. Just a bunch of boring stuff. I did reduce chunk starvation. You guys probably never noticed. Here, take a look at this. These meshes, notice how they're updating late? That's what the starvation is. Normally, they wouldn't update at all because the game would be prioritizing these meshes since they're changing quickly and they're close to you. And then the meshes up here would just look really old and crappy. But I just used a weight counter to fix that. It looks a lot better now. We changed cobblestone because we don't want to be like some other game that you all probably know of. Alright, stay tuned guys. I will be making another video next Tuesday with even more cool features. If you haven't subscribed, please do. It'll be good to have you in the community. Check the description for a full changelog. See you later guys.